All right, Shalom. Bear with me. All right, Shalom, Shalom, we live. Here we go. Hey, Shalom, before I get started with this live camp, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakabadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect. Just pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. Shalom to the elect. Back at you with another live camp. All right, midweek camp, bring it out. All right, and bear with me 1 second. All right, I'm gonna get this kind of going into this. I saw this news article earlier today. Open up with this. This would be a good topic here. Bear with me. All right, so this came out today. This is from the Breitbart. It says Israeli defense. All right, let me just double check real quick and we'll get back to it. Lord willing, bear with us. Hey, Shalom. Hey, Shalom. Yeah, I'm trying to fix it now. Let me hit you right back. Shalom. Yeah, saying that the feed is messed up. Bear with us. Hold on. We good now. Yeah, we good, bro. All right, cool. I just wanted to check the feed, make sure it was good. All right, let's go. So what you was holding out? Yeah.
So Micah chapter 4 and verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it.
This would happen when the true biblical Israelites are back in the land. Right? Fulfilling also Isaiah, the 2nd chapter as well. Go ahead.
And many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of Jacob, the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the power of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths.
Right, so that proves that we're going to have the nations under our subjection. The nations are not doing that now. They ain't going to these they're not going to these small hats and learning their ways. Right? There's no, like the scripture says in Jeremiah, is there any more wisdom in Teman? Has their knowledge, has their wisdom vanished? See that? There's no wisdom coming out of Esau, coming out of Amalek. Go ahead.
And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Right. So again, making a point. The word, what does it say? Read that last part again, Salaki.
It says, and the law shall go forth of Zion.
And the law shall go forth of Zion. Go ahead.
And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Jerusalem is going to be like the capital, if you will, the headquarters. Right? That's when that's where the standard is going to be brought forth from, man. For the earth and the universe, if you will. Right? Go ahead, bro.
And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off.
Matter of fact, before you read that, give me Isaiah 9 and 6 through 8. That's what's coming. All right, I got something else I'm going to add in there for you. Let me see. You can read it, I'll find it real quick.
So Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder.
See that? The government, this is speaking about Yahweh Shai. And the government shall be upon his shoulder. So the kingdom of heaven is going to be an actual government established on the earth, man. This is what Yahweh Shai is coming to bring. All right, go ahead.
And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
The Everlasting Father, right, because he's the bishop, all right? And it tells you that in 1 Peter that he's the bishop of our souls. All right, the bishop goes back to the head of the church, just like the father. The father is the head of the church. You know, like in the world, don't they call these Catholic priests father? See what I'm saying? Yahweh Shai is the father. He's the head of the church. The church represents the body, the believers. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 7. of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end.
The increase of his government and peace, there should be no end. So once Yahweh Bashim Yahushua establishes his reign on the earth, that's the end of all the other nations. Matter of fact, hold where you at, give me that one in Daniel 2 and what, 44? Right? Hey, how you doing? You know? Yeah, Daniel 2 and 44? Daniel 7.
It's one Daniel 7.
Get the one you got. Both of them will work though.
It's Daniel 7 and verse 13.
There you go.
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days.
And came, so this is another cut. Shows you that there's a separation between the powers, man. You got the Heavenly Father, which is the Ancient of Days, all right? Because he's before time existed itself. He's the Ancient of Days. And then the Son of Man, showing that there's two powers, man. Go ahead.
And came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
There you go. So again, you guys get emotional about how we're going to have the heathen nations under our feet. Well, hey, that's what it says. What does it mean that he should have dominance and all nations should be subjugated under him? What does that mean? You got it, brother.
His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. So like we read back in that Micah.
Oh, it was Isaiah?
No, it was Isaiah.
Yeah.
Back in Isaiah, it said, he will establish it with judgment and justice from henceforth forever and even ever, man.
That's it.
Right? And like I said, it said also that there will be no end to the throne of David, man. Right? So it's going to be a continual expanse of a kingdom, man. Right? Non-stop growth. You know, as Esau, that's what he wishes upon the earth. That's why he's moving in the manner that he's moving. That's why he's trying to go to Mars and try to explore the galaxies and whatnot. Right? Because he thinks that he can fulfill that lot. You know, but Yahweh Shai is coming to stop all that, man.
Go back to that Isaiah 9 a little bit more. Read down to verse 8. I think you stopped at maybe like 6.
Isaiah 9 and verse 7. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end.
That's right.
Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom to order it and establish it with judgment.
Upon the throne of David. Read it again, Salaki.
Upon the throne of David.
Upon the throne. So that shows you that King David is still going to be the rightful king over Israel under Yahweh Shai. Because remember, Jeremiah was at 33. All right, the Lord promised him that his throne would be an everlasting throne. That's essentially what the kingdom of heaven is, the throne of David. He's going to be back in his rightful position. Right? Go ahead.
And upon his kingdom to order it and to establish it.
Upon his kingdom to order it and establish it. So according to the world, when people think about heaven, they think about everybody floating in the heavens, holding hands, dressed in all white, all the nations together, you know what I'm saying, having peace. No, the kingdom of heaven is going to be a government, man, in which the Israelites are going to be ruling over the nation, starting with the elect. All right, the house of David. Right? Go ahead.
And to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever.
Forever. You got it.
The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this.
Speak.
Right? So this is the energy that Yahweh Bashim Shai is coming with, man. This is what he's performing in the earth. Everything that you see taking place, it all leads to the establishment of this government under Yahweh Shai and King David.
That's it, man.
You know?
And this is what these devils, this is what Esau and these nations are trying to hinder. Like it tells you in Ezra the 4th chapter how the heathens, they tried to hinder Jake from building the temple. The southern kingdom coming out of Babylonian exile, right, during the time of the Medo-Persian Empire. You had the southern kingdom, they were trying to rebuild that second temple, and you had the heathen that were trying to hinder it, man. And it's the same thing that these devils are doing now, man. The hindrance now is what? Trying to stop the spiritual rebuilding of the tabernacle of David, man. Same thing, man, but different in the spirit. You got it. That was it on that, right? Let's go back to that Micah 4. And you stopped there at verse 2. Read 2 again. We'll read that.
So Micah 4 and 2. And many nations shall come and say, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the power of Jacob.
Right.
And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths.
Yep.
For the law shall go forth of Zion,
That's right.
and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
That's it. Go ahead.
And he shall judge among many people,
Yep.
and rebuke strong nations afar off.
That's it.
And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation.
Nation should not lift up sword against nation. So what the hell is our iron dome beam or whatever it was called, right? Read that again. Because when the true Israelites were in the land, the nations wouldn't learn war anymore. What's going on the earth right now? There's war all over this bitch. You know, niggas is getting blown up left and right all across the planet. So somebody lying. Go ahead.
Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
Speak.
Right, so like the elder said, there's war going on across the earth, man. Every country has a major internal skirmish going on right now.
Right.
You know, you got civil wars, you got even, brothers going to the economic wars, man.
Yep.
Going through these tariffs and things of that nature.
Sanctions.
Man. Yeah, so that's a war in itself, right? And that's not going to be happening in the kingdom, man. Right? It's not going to be, the Moabites trying to put tariffs on Israel, man. Trying to lift the percentages and whatnot.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. What like the dude, Sakar, what did he say? Russia gonna raise back up. You know, God gonna raise back up. We're gonna go to war. Nah, man. Why would that happen? Because at this point, when the true Israelites are back in power, look, it's gonna be a supernatural government on the earth. Remember, we're gonna be in the second covenant. We're gonna have those spiritual bodies. We're gonna have the power. So it wouldn't even make sense for a nation to go to war with us.
We're gonna be gods.
Yeah, we're gonna be gods on earth.
And even in that, these nations are going to know that they're in the best case scenario.
Facts.
Already.
They're not gonna rebel.
Yeah.
They're gonna be. The earth is gonna be.
Right. Hey, resistance is futile, goddamn. I got something real quick. This is Psalms 46. And man, matter of fact, go to it. This is a short chapter. Start at the top. It's a short chapter.
So Psalm 46:1. The Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble.
That's right, and you got to believe that, man. You know, I went into a lesson about those who have been chosen to pretty much make it through the calamities and destruction that's coming, for lack of better words, man. Who are those servants? Who are those men that's going to make it through? Because as the scriptures I went into, right, all the scriptures detailed about those that's going to survive the destruction, that's going to make it through the evil day. So who are those men going to be? You know, go ahead, bro.
Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof.
Right, giving reference back to what happened in Exodus, man, when we were delivered out of Egypt. You know, the Lord parted the waters on the Suez Canal. Right, we were able to make it through, and the Lord, collapsed the waters on Pharaoh and his army, and he drowned him. And you still got niggas talking about the Bible is fake. When they went over there and they found evidence of the bones, they found the chariot wheels, they found the dead horses, they found the armors, the swords, they found all of that under the water. And niggas are still talking shit, man. Make that make sense. Go ahead.
Yeah, even if, like, you speak about how the mountains shall be removed, and we will not be in fear. We're watching the government, right? We're watching a hegemony be destroyed before our eyes, man. Right? So we're not going to be in a state of fear as this place continues to crumble.
Yeah, these doubles are all fucking confused, man. The left versus the right. You know, all this weird shit that came from the left side. Esau's government, his house is divided. They can't agree on shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's all out war between these Edomites, Egyptian versus Egyptian, man. Right? Hey, the decay would happen internally first. All right? This place is being destroyed from the inside, man. You got it, brother.
Psalm 46:3. Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof, there is a river, and streams whereof shall make glad the city of the Most High, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High.
That's right.
The Most High is in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. The Most High shall help her, And that right early.
Yeah, and her representing Israel, man. All right, that comely and delicate woman pursuing the Jeremiah, what, 6:2? So the Lord is going to be in the midst of her. Go ahead.
The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted.
And that's what's getting ready to happen now. He uttered his voice, and what did it say? The earth melted, man. Right? When the Lord comes through with the heavenly hosts and them chariots, it's all she wrote. When the Lord activates those nuclear missiles out of them silos and no warheads come down, that's all she wrote. Right? This is why the Lord said, reward her, reward double unto her, man. All right, this place is about to go out in the worst way that man can imagine. Blazing glory, goddamn. Go ahead.
It's Psalm 46:6. The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The power of Jacob is our refuge.
The power of Jacob is our refuge, man. The Lord told us not to fear. Right? Divine things from on high are going to happen in these last days, man. This double A, I did another lesson going into what? The Pentagon. They just announced, look, we got killer robots. We ready to unleash them on people, man. The Esau is just coming straight with this shit, man. Right? He got the chip ready. All right? They got the food supply pretty much marked off. Right? They're putting all these different jabs in the food. You know, he's trying to block out the sun, block out the sky. This man is in full war mode against the planet Earth, man. Right? So it's going to take divine intervention, as I spoke before. Matter of fact, let's make that point. Or you go to Daniel 12:1 just to make that point. And look at the word Michael in the blue letter. Just to make my point. All right?
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 1.
Yep.
It reads, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
Yep.
And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation,
Yep.
even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." God, and that's the time that we're coming into, right? The time of Jacob's trouble, right? The days of evil, as the scriptures forewarn of us to happen before the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach. Right? A time as never before.
That's right.
And then you take into consideration the things that our people have endured, right? We have went through hellish captivities, we went through hellish scenarios, but the times to come is going to be on a whole nother scale, so much to where the Archangel Michael is going to have to be there as a defense for the elect of Israel, man. Right? So when we talk about getting yourself right with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, it's no light matter. Right? You have the opportunity to have this type of protection, this necessary protection in these days to come.
This is why Psalms, the 2nd chapter, tells you the last verse, "Kiss the Son, lest he be angry." A lot of Jake have problems submitting themselves under the Heavenly Father's Son, which is why a lot of you, Jake, find yourself in stupid situation. Because when you're not submitting yourself under the ordinance, you're open to the damn elements of Satan.
As we can say, Yahushua was given preeminence over everything, pretty much. Right? So he controls the judgments that people are receiving. Right?
Exactly.
This Michael, Strong's H 43:17, Michael Allah. It says, "Michael, who is like the Most High, one of the chief or the first archangel, who is described as one who stands in time of conflict for the children of Israel."
Boom. So the Lord is he's gonna send his top angel down to protect his elect. Once again, divine intervention. Supernatural things are gonna happen. This is our faith. Right? Because this man, as we go into a lot, this man is coming with the full force of the left-hand side, man. The drones, the AI cybernetics, the robots, right? The nanotech, these fucking jabs, right? He's coming with pure spiritual warfare, man.
Right.
All right?
And just as much as he's coming with that left hand, he's coming with that right hand to cover his elect too.
That's right.
This is Psalms chapter 91:4. "He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. And part of that comfort that we get from this is knowing, number one, who's bringing all these judgments, and then two, knowing that we continue to walk in the fear of the Lord, how the Lord is going to protect us, man. All right, we're not going to fall victim to any of that, man. I'm going to jump down to verse 11. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, going to what y'all was talking about with Michael. Yep. It says, to keep thee in all thy ways. Thou shalt bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. So, hey, Michael, along with the rest of the angels that the Lord has guarding the elect, are going to protect us, Lord willing, you know, from all the destruction that the Lord is about to bring upon the earth, man.
Psalm 46 and verse 8. Come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He will make wars to cease unto the end of the earth.
Yeah, he will make wars to cease unto the end of the earth. And that's what's going to happen back when we read in Micah the 4th chapter. All right? When Jerusalem, when the Israelites are back in the Holy Land, back in power, there will be no more war on the earth. Right? Go ahead.
He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth.
That's right.
He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder.
Yep.
He burneth the chariot in the fire.
Yeah. Which reminds me of that one in was Ezekiel the 39th chapter. How we're gonna have to burn the weapons. Yeah, it goes into that, man. Burn the weapons. You know, ain't gonna be no more war at that point because we're gonna be in our complete power, man.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, the whole thing of war is you would have the weapons, so there's gonna be peace. These nations aren't gonna have any need for that because what you're seeing now, a lot of these different countries that are mostly known for agriculture, or like it says with that Joel,
yep.
You know, they're putting that money towards military might now, man.
That's it.
So once these small hats and the rest of the Edomites are taken out of the way, it's not going to be any more use for them to invest in weapons. Yes. They're going to have to go back to the agriculture because now it's going to be to where they're going to be helping to put the earth back in the way they're supposed to be. So we're going to put them motherfuckers to work to make sure they tilling the ground. Yep. You know, they're working on the crops. Yep. They're going to bring the earth back to that promise.
Yeah, it's back to work, man.
Yeah, ain't going to be no more fucking, overfishing. Yeah. All right, damn Moab eating shark fin soup and shit, man. Yeah. You know, the animals are going to be in their right habitat, all that, man.
There ain't going to be nobody creating nukes and shit like that, rockets, you know.
Even regular soil. Yeah. So like go all the way back to some volcanoes. None of that's going to be done in the kingdom of heaven, man. And if we catch you doing it, we're going to beat your ass, man.
That's it, man. Rod of iron, man. You got to go.
That's Psalm 46 and 10. Be still and know that I am the Most High. Right. I will be exalted among the heathen. That's it. I will be exalted in the earth.
Yeah, so when all these things that we just went through go down in the planet Earth, Yahweh Shemel Shah is going to be exalted in the earth at that time. Nuclear war, once America's finished off, various parts of the earth, that's going to magnify the name of the Lord, man. See?
We'll start with his men.
That's it.
Once the Lord magnifies his men and brings that spiritual power down from on high, that's the beginning of the Lord beginning to magnify his name in the earth. That's right. Because we're a representative of the Lord anyway, man. So when the nation of Israel through the elect are being, given that reverence, that's the beginning of the Lord getting his shine, man.
That's it.
And that's why I say be still, man. That word still goes into being in a state of tranquility, man. Being at ease, being at peace. Yeah. Because we know our power is coming to establish righteousness, man. Right? He's going to deliver us from all these heathen nations, man. He's going to take us from the captivity that we've been in for so long, man. Continuing on, finishing up. Psalm 46 and 11, the Lord of hosts is with us. The power of Jacob is our refuge. Micah chapter 4, verse 3. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
Right. Matter of fact, let's get that. Go to Ezekiel 39 and get that in verse. Just add on to that. Ezekiel 39 and verse 9.
That's the verse I was referring to. I said Joel.
Okay.
This is Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 9.
Start at 8.
Okay. Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 8.
And this is future prophecy here. Go ahead.
Behold, it is come, and it is done, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai power. This is the day whereof I have spoken.
What is he talking about? Armageddon, man. Total nuclear destruction. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth, and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the hand staves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years.
Yeah, so we're going to burn all the weapons up, man. Like we were talking about, we're going to be in our supernatural glory at that point. We're going to be gods on earth. We're going to be in that second covenant, man. So there's not going to be any more use of weapons. That's why we read in Micah the 4th chapter, the nations should not learn of war anymore. See? Let's go back to it.
So Micah chapter 4 and verse 5. Verse 4.
Matter of fact, there's some more in there. It's a lot. Read a little bit more. Yeah, some more in there. Let's read down to 16. Yeah. We can't skip over that. Continue employment, man.
Ain't gonna be no fucking you in the fucking internet looking for jobs.
Right.
Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 10.
Right, LinkedIn.
So that they shall take no wood out of the field,
Yep.
neither cut down any out of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoil them.
They shall spoil those that spoil them. It's payback, man. All right, retribution is biblical, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
And they shall spoil those that spoil them, and rob those that rob them.
And rob those that rob them, man. Right, it told us in Isaiah, I want to say Isaiah chapter 60 or Isaiah 61, that we're going to actually take back the substance of these heathen, man. You know, because a lot of that originally belonged to us anyway. You know?
And added to that, we're gonna reap the best of their stuff too.
That's it.
You know, because just like how today Israel they can't profit from our stuff.
Yep.
You know, Jake don't own the masters to their youth catalog.
Yep.
You know, whatever royalties that we got, we don't own.
Yep.
So just like we're gonna own y'all heathen stuff, man.
Yeah, we're going to have the best of the best linen, fabric,
Yep.
women,
Yep.
food,
Yep.
right?
Everything.
Everything, man. The earth, right? Go ahead.
It's ours anyway.
It's ours anyway.
That's 2nd Ezra the 6th chapter.
Yep. You got it.
Ezekiel 39 and 11 in the latter. And they shall spoil those that spoiled them, and rob those that robbed them, saith the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai power.
That's right. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto God a place thereof graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea. And it shall stop the noses of the passengers, and there shall they bury Gog and all his multitude.
Yep.
And they shall call it the valley of Hamongog.
Right, because when you read Ezekiel 38, the top of that chapter, it tells you that the Lord says, set thy face against the land of Gog and Magog. So that's meaning that what? That Gog and Magog today would be Russia, right?
Right.
And that surrounding region. But the Lord's saying, prophesy against Russia or Gog and Magog, because hey, that place, Russia, going to be destroyed too, man.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
Verse 12.
Hey, don't forget, hey, the Russians are Edomites. You know? Go ahead.
The Lord don't have a special liking for them.
Come on, man.
They're just used for
That's it. That's for prophecy's sake, man. Go ahead.
Verse 12. In 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land.
Yep.
Yeah, all the people of the land shall bury them. And it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai power.
Right, and it says here in my sword, it says famous day. So going again and making the point that the Lord's name will be glorified in that time. Right? The world is going to know that the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was behind that.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I got a precept for that.
Yep.
This is Jeremiah chapter 23 and 6. It says, in his days, Judah shall be saved and Israel shall dwell in safety. And this is the name whereby he shall be called, the Lord our righteousness. You know, like you said, that the Lord's name is going to be magnified during that time. It's going to be magnified through Yahushua.
Right.
Yahushua is going to come down and set everything back in order, man. So he's going to have his elect with him as we set the world back in order.
All right.
Verse 14. And they shall sever out men of continual employment.
Yeah, it's gonna be plenty of work for you heathens to do. All right, in that time, you gonna have to clean the earth up, man. Remember, the earth is gonna be wasted. Bodies everywhere, man. All right, destruction. You know, got it.
Passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search.
Right, so we're talking about post-nuclear destruction. Imagine what the earth is going to look like, right? Because remember, hey, those that escape, going back to the elect, was it Isaiah, give me that, about the chambers, Isaiah 26, you know, to the end of the nation be overpassed. Okay, I look at on mine. Isaiah 26, 24. Hey, grab that real quick. All right? Because the chariots, yeah, give me that real quick.
Isaiah 26 and 20.
Yep.
Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers.
Enter thou into thy chambers. The chambers are the chariots, man. The fathership, basically. All right? Because when you look up that word chambers, it goes into an apartment or a house. All right? That's how the elect is going to receive that refuge from the destruction. Go ahead.
And shut thy doors about thee.
Yep.
Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment.
For a little moment. Go ahead.
Until the indignation be overpassed.
Until the indignation be overpassed. What's the indignation? The nuclear destruction.
Yeah, the fallout.
That fallout. So we're going to be in the heavens in the chariot for whatever amount of time the Lord has us up there until the earth is ready to be inhabited.
Right. You gotta think about the sequence of events that's going to take place once these missiles hit. It's just like you saw kind of what happened with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All right, it was a nuclear. You had the nuclear fallout, as well as a nuclear winter that's going to happen, to where the Earth is going to be inhabited, you know, uninhabited for that little bit of time, dealing with, you know, over here on this side. Man.
Exactly.
So you gotta wait for all that to dissipate before we come back down.
And that makes sense to add on to what you're saying. This is why the elites are being preserved as the first fruits of slavery, because they're going to be in those bunkers.
Yeah.
They're gonna survive that nuclear fallout. They're going to be underneath the earth. They're going to be in the ocean. They're going to be somewhere in whatever they're going to be at. But the Lord has them intentionally preserved to be the first fruits of slavery when we come back down out of the chariots.
Right. That's why they have that credo. They said they're going to rise from the ashes like a phoenix.
Exactly.
Because they understand after these nukes hit, it's going to be a completely different world. So in their convoluted mind, they think they're going to be able to come out these bunkers and start society over anew.
Yeah.
But we understand through the scriptures, Jeremiah 16 and 16, for example,
Yep.
we're going to go just like how they did Saddam Hussein, pour them out them holes in the rocks, and put their ass in chains and start their employment.
That's it. Amos 9 and 2. Though they climb into hell, the Lord said, my hand will dig them out. See? So there's no escaping. There's no escaping the judgment. Right? Go back, man.
Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 15. And the passengers that pass through the land, when any seeth the man's bone, then shall he set up a sign by it, till the barriers have buried it in the valley of Hamangad.
Keep reading.
Verse 16.
Read down to like 19.
Verse 16.
Man, read the 21. Salaki. Yeah. It'd be like that.
And also the name of the city shall be Hamanah. Thus shall they cleanse the land.
Yep.
And thou, son of man, thus saith Yahweh Bashem El Shai power, speak unto every feathered fowl and to every beast of the field, assemble yourselves and come. Gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice that I do sacrifice for you. Even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that you may eat flesh and drink blood.
Right, so the Lord has a feast, if you will, prepared for the animals after the destruction. All right, because those animals are going to have the chance to eat of those dead bodies. Right, that's the great sacrifice the Lord has prepared for these animals. Matter of fact, let's add to it. Give me Zephaniah 1 and 7, and then give me Isaiah 34 and 5 and 6. Right, because the Lord has a great feast prepared. That's the post-destruction. You got to imagine the world being wasted after nuclear war, man. Imagine how the world's going to look, man. That shit's right? You got it.
Zephaniah 1 and 7. Hold thy peace at the presence of the Lord Yahweh Bashem El Shai. For the day of the Lord is at hand. For the Lord hath prepared a sacrifice. He hath bid his guests. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the kings and the king's children, and all such are clothed with strange apparel.
Right, so that's the point. So the Lord has bid his sacrifice. That's the post-destruction, man. Where the Lord promised that those the fowls of the air, the animals were going to eat. They were going to drink of the blood, the Lord said, man. Right, give me that one in Isaiah 34, too.
So Isaiah 34:5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
That's the nuclear missiles. Go ahead.
Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Yeah, upon Idumea. All right, America, Babylon, even the land of Israel. All right, go ahead.
And upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Yeah, and upon the people of my curse, the Edomites, to judgment. Go ahead.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats.
Yep.
With the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bosra.
And the Lord have a sacrifice in Bosra. So the people, all right, represent the lambs, the goats, and the bullocks. The people are getting ready to be a sacrifice in that great fire. That nuclear destruction, World War III. Go ahead.
For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bosra.
Yep.
And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Yeah, a great sacrifice in Bosra and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Proving to you again that these animals they're going to eat, they're going to have plenty to eat in that time. Plenty of blood to feast on, plenty of dead carcasses to feast on in that time. You go back. Yeah, we got it.
It's Jeremiah chapter 25 and verse 33. And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth. So just going into what brothers just mentioned, man. The earth is going to be full of dead bodies, man. Right? It says, they shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor burned. They shall be thrown upon the ground. So somebody's going to have to clean that up. You know? It's going to be bodies strewn across the entire earth. You know, and that's what the first rules of slavery are going to be here for, man. To clean up the mess.
And then also, too, just dealing with the animals, that's also the Lord allowing them to get their get back on Esau as well. Because all the experiments and shit that Esau's been doing, the poisoning and all that, that's part of the Lord getting their recompense from the animals as well.
Yeah, the Lord said in Isaiah 34 again that he said the stink was going to come out their carcasses, man. You know, so that's heavy, man. Like, hey, just like during the civil wars or whatnot back in the days, when all them cats died, they used Jake to clean the bodies up, man. Had to bury the bodies. You know, it's the same.
What's the movie that Will Smith was in? The slave movie. He was
I forgot the name
shut
of it.
down that movie.
Yep.
Emancipation.
Yeah.
Well, I got another for you. This is Revelation 19 and 17. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power, that ye may eat the flesh of the kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of the mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. You know, so just adding on to that feast, the Lord is promising the animals.
That's it. Animals going to eat, man.
Back to Isaiah 34 and verse 8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch.
Right, and this is speaking of Babylon the Great America, right? Destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. Right, this is for the controversy of Zion. This is for the controversy of you so-called blacks, Latino, Native Americans, and Hispanics. Right? Really, first and foremost, the elect.
It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall not waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it.
Yep. And that's speaking of those foul beasts, right? Those unclean birds that are going to possess this land, right? They're going to be the ones that are going to feast on the dead bodies.
Yeah. Well, some of the birds are known as like scavenger birds. That pretty much, you know, eat. They're the earth, you know, trash can. You got animals like them, you know, pigs for the land, you know, shrimp, like different bottom feeders for the ocean. The Lord has animals to clean up. So they're going to help.
bro. It's heavy.
And he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness.
Right, that line of confusion is going to be indistinguishable. Babylon the Great, what is now versus what will be. Right? Once the destruction takes place, there's not going to be that ability for you to say, okay, this is California, that's Texas,
Right.
that's Charlotte, North Carolina, right? That's Atlanta, Georgia. No, it's just going to be one destroyed country.
It ain't gonna be like in Planet of the Apes. You see damn Statue of Liberty hanging out there understand. Oh, this is New York City. You know, nah, this is gonna be all the way like way.
And even they talk about how the mountains shall be moved out of their places. Because people can, you can map the earth, the United States through the Appalachian Mountains, and all the other mountain ranges that are across the country. So those things are going to be wiped away as well, man. It's just going to be one mass of emptiness, man.
One big ass landmass at that point.
I want to jump back to that Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 17. And thou son of man, thus saith Yahweh Bashem El Shai power, speak unto every feathered fowl, and to every beast of the field, assemble yourselves and come. Gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice, that I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel.
Even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel. Because Israel gonna get wiped out too. That place is gonna get cleansed too. Go ahead.
That ye may eat flesh and drink blood.
Yep.
Ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty, and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, of bullocks, all of them fatlings of Bashan.
Yep.
And ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken.
Yeah, so these animals, they go eat, they go have a feast. The Lord said, welcome to my great feast, basically. Go ahead, you know.
Of my sacrifice, which I have sacrificed for you.
That was it. Yeah, so that's the point, man. So you're talking about post-destruction, man. How the earth is going to be and what the Lord's going to do in that time. So these are the times we in, man. And like I said, going back to the article, right? That iron, what's it called? The iron beam laser, whatever. That's useless, man. You know, that's just more of these devils promoting their pride, man, because they believe, pursuant to Jeremiah 49 and 11, that their inward thought is that their houses is going to continue forever. So, with that being said, hey, we see all the signs of this place being ready to be taken out. You know. Yep.
Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee.
Yep.
Thou that dwelleth in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Yeah, 'cause like you said, everything is pointing to Esau, Edom pretty much losing once these nukes are shot off. But if you let this man control the narrative, they'll let you think that they're in control all the way through, throughout. Which we understand, Scripture. He tell you that the moment World War III pops off and those bunch of Christians shot off, that's the end of Esau's rulership, you know. So don't believe the bullshit. Iron Dome, him being able to shoot missiles out the sky with missiles, how they're going to be able to rebuild. That's all a fairy tale, man. That's all pipe dream, man. Okay. It says, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Because they think that this new world order is going to be the system that's going to stay. But the true new world order that the Lord is going to bring into the earth is the rulership of the Israelites under Yahweh. All right? Yeah, the house of David, the true governing body of the earth. All right? And though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, saying the Lord. And Esau has been on a downward spiral ever since he put the satellites into space. All right, so just because you see him still, going through with these technological advancements, they're for the sake of prophecy, but it's not going to come to pass. All right, Esau is going to be allowed, bring in this MOTV system to chip, the people, but he's not going to get everybody, especially not going to get the elect. So as we continue to go forth prophecy and watch how things unfold, all you brothers and sisters understand that he's not going to win.
Stop. Revelation 19:11. Somebody get that. You have something?
Yeah, something right
Go
quick.
ahead.
I just want to get something right quick. Sirach chapter 40 and verse 2. Their imagination of things to come and the day of death trouble their thoughts and cause fear of heart. From him that sitteth on the throne of glory, unto him that is humbled in earth and ashes, from him that weareth purple and a crown, unto him that is clothed with a linen frock. You know, so just going into the troubled mind of people's fear of death. You know, these elites are especially afraid.
Yeah.
Right? They may try to put on the front as though, you know, they're composed and they're trying to map out this new world order endeavor. But they're terrified because they actually understand the totality of what's at stake. James 2:19. Right? These devils are very aware of everything that's happening in real time. And they're trying their hardest not to try to set a standard of being proactive but reactive.
This is why the narrative that I always put out is that they're in control.
Right.
But they're really not.
Right.
And as
They're
we,
reactive.
yeah, and as we see everything from the Project Looking Glass that's come out to, you know, how they bugging out when they looking on the NASA feed and seeing all the cherries everywhere, that shows you, like you just quoted, James 2:19, these devils are very afraid.
Yeah, I want to add on to what you said, which is scripture. Like you said about the how they're troubled in mind, how these elites know what's getting ready to happen when we read that. This is Job 20 in verse. I start at 18 and read down. This is Job 20:18. It says that which he labor for. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. So he's not going to be able to keep any of his all the shit that he stole. All of his substance is going to be given up to us. It says, verse 19, because he have oppressed and forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away the house which he builded not. Verse 20, the point, Job 20:20 says, surely he should not feel quietness in his belly. He should not save of that which he desired. Right? So, like you were saying, these devils, these bankers are at the point of initiating this new order. They're ready to establish this MOTB system. But at the same time, there's this unsureness in their belly, man. That nervousness, if you will. That anxiety, right? Because they know as they push this, the Lord is getting ready to do that, right?
That goes back, I was mentioning that video you shared years ago, where it's like how they're pushing all this wickedness in the earth to force it, how it's trying to come back.
Yep.
But like you said, it's that uneasiness because they know deep down inside, the Lord's going to smash them.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. I was going to say, you go into that word for quietness, it speaks on security.
Yep.
You know, so they're not securing any of their plans
Nope.
right now.
It says these devils are in shambles. Verse 21, it says, Job 20:21, there shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods, because he's going to be annihilated. All right. It says, verse 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. And this is where we're at now. We're at the fullness of his sufficiency. We're at the height of his enterprise. We're at the climax of his pride. All right. They got all these events set in place. They got the new world order. They got the chip ready. They're ready to crash the economy. You know, they're getting ready to set up this new government, this left-hand government, right? It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he's eating. So we're at the point again. He's about to fill his belly. He thinks he's about to eat. You know, he's about to relish in this new world order. You know, this world being governed under Satan, AI, right? And right when he feel like he got that established, hey, destruction, man.
Right.
You know?
The scriptures speak about the pride of thine heart has deceived thee.
That's it.
You know, if I can get a quick precept,
You got it.
just to add to that, because with all of these things that Esau is trying to do, you know, he's trying to prepare his table so that he can have a seat, you know, and enjoy his rulership. That's just the Lord puffing him up to think that that's possible.
So, yeah, that's like, as we said, the Lord is preparing a sacrifice. What do you do when an animal you're about to sacrifice? You fatten them up. So that pride Esau is being fattened up. So when the Lord finally makes a move on, he's going to deflate that pride to where he's going to be brought down to the lowest of the low.
Right. And in turn is going to exalt Yahweh Shemon Shai. This is Romans chapter 9 and verse 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, Even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. You know, so bringing this devil down is not going to be a light thing, right? The fashion in which Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai is going to crash this man's system, right, throughout the chaos and this disorderly function, right, going all the way into the CHIP, going all the way into the World War III, and ultimately the thermonuclear destruction.
Yep.
This is going to be a sign of, well, what was the cause of this? You know, it was the will of Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, because as brothers always say, the world operates off the vibration of the prophets, right? Because what do we hold? The testimony of Yahweh Shai, right? So this testimony is not of men, but it's of Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai. This is a divine message that's being echoed before it comes to pass.
After that point, this is why, like you said, that magnification is going to be just like how it was when the Lord got us out of Egypt and going to that account with the harlot. The second chapter. This is Joshua chapter 2 and I start at verse 9. It says, dealing with the harlots, and she said unto the men, I know that the Lord hath given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the waters of the Red Sea for you when he came out of Egypt, and what ye did unto the two kings of the Amorites that were on the other side of Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. And as soon as we heard these things, our hearts did melt, neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, your power, he is God in heaven above and in earth beneath. So just as the Lord magnified his name when he took us out of Egypt, this is going to be an even greater magnification during this second Exodus out of Babylon here. Just like grab that, the Lord said he's going to take us out of the North Country. You know, because it's just like how we just celebrated the Pesach, all right, it's going to be another high holy day when the Lord gets us out of this. We're no longer going to speak about, how the Lord took us out of Egypt.
It's close.
That reference, like I said, is going to be back on the heathen. When they see Israel, like they did when we were going through going to the Holy Land, they were afraid. That's when that's when the Lord's going to put that fear back on the heathen when they see Israel again.
Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 7. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which broughteth up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth, which brought up and led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country.
Yahweh Bashem Yahushua lived. The Lord is no longer going to hide himself from everybody on the earth, man. He's going to make his presence felt when that great destruction happens. Right?
And from all countries, whither I have driven them, they shall dwell in their own land.
Right, because that great deliverance is going to be seen throughout all the world. All right, Revelation the 18th chapter, Wisdom of Solomon the 5th chapter. That deliverance is going to be seen because the elect of Israel is going to be delivered from all four corners of the earth, man. That's why the scripture talk about when that chariot returns, it's going to block out the earth, block out the sun, because it's going to cover the sky, man. And all just like when you watch that movie, This Is the End. Just like when they saw everybody getting beaten, the whole earth is going to see that. So that's how the earth is going to know those were the true sons of God right there.
Niggas getting swallowed up, sinkholes.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Right.
That's how it's gonna go down.
That's right.
We got that. We got it. Let's get into that chapter.
So Revelation 19 and verse 11.
Sorry.
And I saw heaven opened up, and behold, a white horse.
Yep.
And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True.
That's Yahweh, man. He's coming back in that massive fathership. Right? Go ahead.
And in him was righteousness. He doth judge and make war.
So that's the spirit that the Lord is coming back in. All right? Exodus 15 and 3? The Lord is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name. All right? The Son is coming back in the same spirit as the Father. He's coming to judge and make war with this world. Go ahead.
His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns.
Symbolizing what? Him taking down the nations. Go ahead.
And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself.
Go ahead.
And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood.
Yep.
And his name was called the Word of the Most High.
Right, his vesture is going back to his garment. It was dipped in blood, fulfilling what was written in Isaiah 63. Who is this that cometh with dyed garments from Basra? All right, the Lord is going to bring bloodshed upon Edom. Symbolic. Go ahead.
And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses.
Yeah, the heavenly host. Go ahead.
Clothed in fine linen, white and clean.
Yep.
And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
And the Lord is coming back to pronounce and bring judgment, man. Go ahead.
And he treadeth the winepresses of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty power.
That's right.
And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
Yep, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. You know, his title, if you will. You know, his position. All right, he's the king. He's the warlord. Go ahead.
And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying unto all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power,
Yep.
that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men.
Which we read this precept earlier, going into the fact that how the Lord has that great feast prepared for these animals that are going to clean up the earth post-destruction. The bodies, all right, the waste. Go ahead.
And the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them.
Yep.
And the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great.
Yep.
And I saw the beast.
Hey, it's going to be like it told us in, I want to say, it was the 2nd Ezra 5. It talks about how there's going to be a mass, basically it's going to be mass casualties on this side, man, in the lack of better words. It's going to be great death of the people in the time of this destruction. All right? Go ahead.
Revelation 19:19. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him.
Right. So these nations eventually, in the midst of World War III, when the Lord appears on the scene, these nations are going to stop fighting each other and they're going to come together to fight against the Lord. Right? Go ahead. And it kind of shows you that now. What's that movie that came out back in the day, that little show? What was the name of it? I can't think of the name. But they had it in a World War II setting. And in the midst of World War II, I forgot the name. You know what I'm talking about?
It was a show.
It was a show.
Lovecraft.
Lovecraft. Yeah, they showed you that it was like World War II. Nations was fighting, and in the middle of the war, the angels came down the chariot, started zapping them niggas up, blowing shit up. That's how it's gonna go down. Where did they get that script from? Go ahead.
So Revelation 19 and 19, and I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken.
And the beast was taken. The Edomite power structure that governs this world. The beast was taken. It was destroyed. Go ahead.
And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him.
Yeah, the Roman Catholic Church, which is responsible for all the false religions in the world. All right. Esau's whole hegemony is about to be annihilated. Go ahead. That's it.
Which he thinks like, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image.
Yeah, those that took the chip, right? That sold out, that gave in, you know, that didn't, basically that bended the knee, right? You're gonna be destroyed too. Go ahead.
These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone.
Ooh, man, the lake of fire, man. All right, when the Lord hits this place with the chariots and the nukes, this whole landmass is going to look like a lake of fire, man. This whole landmass of Babylon is going to be totally consumed in nuclear fire, man. Go ahead.
And the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, with the which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh.
Yep. That's it. That's it, right? Yeah, so that's the point. So we understand, again, we understand the end game, how this place is going to go out. We got the play-by-play. See what I'm saying? So Esau knows that his demise is near. That's why, going back to what I brought out earlier about this iron beam laser defense that Israel has, is of no use, right? These are all indicators that, look, the destruction is very near, man. You know, you got anything out? Hey, well, look, pray this camp was edifying. Hey, keep the faith. We're going to close out by giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Hey, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us the truth. Double salutations to our Yuakim of the labor in the house of David, the elect, who's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.